Hi there, this is Pablo, and in this video we're going to talk about versioning for Zendesk admins. Now, generally speaking, versioning is the ability to see past versions of a document, and this includes changes, deletions, and additions. Typically, something that is removed is represented in red, and something that is added is represented in green. Now, you may be wondering, why is this important? Well, learning how to understand versions is a crucial skill to help you document any change in your Zendesk configuration using Salto. So let's see a few examples of versioning in the real world. So the first example here is actually a trigger in Zendesk itself. So let's say I'm going to remove this condition from the trigger, and I'm also going to add a description. Now I'm just going to save the changes, and that's it. If I go back to the trigger now, there is actually a revision history link here that allows me to see the different versions of this trigger. So if I go here and click on show changes, I can see that the latest change I made was that I added a new description. And as you can see, it's in green because it's something new that was added to the trigger. And I can also see that one of the conditions was removed. And as I said earlier, it is highlighted in red to represent that this was deleted from the trigger. Now I can also go back to the previous version to see what it looked like. Here everything is in green because this was the time when the trigger was created. So as I make changes to the trigger, I can always go back and see the different versions of the trigger configuration. Let's look at another example in Google Docs. Let's say I have this document with these 3 lines, and now I'm going to delete the second line here. I'm going to wait for the changes to save. And now that it's saved, I can see the versions by clicking here. Now if I expand this current version, I can see exactly what changed. In this case, the second line was removed. Now Google Docs doesn't use red for deletions, but the idea is the same. Finally, let's look at an example on this website called Div Checker. I'm going to add this text here as I did on the previous example. I'm going to add it here as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the second line from here. And I'm also going to add a dot here. Now I'm just going to click on Find Differences. And there you go. We see that the second line was removed, and that's why it's displayed in red. And on the third line, the word line was removed, or it was pretty much changed, and now it's line and dot, and that's why it is displayed here as an addition. Now that we understand how to read versions and differences between documents, let's see how this applies to your Zendesk configuration. In my Salto environment, which I have connected to my Zendesk instance, I have a monitoring alert that is going to email me anytime a change is made on one of my Zendesk triggers. Now on the previous trigger earlier, I removed this condition and I added a new description as well. So when I did that change, Salto sent me an email with all the different changes that I made. Let's see what it looks like. So as you can see, this looks pretty similar to the examples we saw earlier. The condition where we checked for the tag was removed, and so it is highlighted in red to represent that it was removed. Also, we added a new description here, and that's why it is shown in green, and we can see the value of the new description. So now that you understand how to read versions, you're well equipped to understand more advanced concepts in Salto, such as documenting your Zendesk changes and also comparing different Zendesk instances.